Hello and welcome to our special show, Celluloid Outbreaks. In next half an hour, we will have a look on the impact of COVID-19 on our cine industry. So what are we waiting for? Let's start. Well, corona fear as a virus could hardly be more timely as director Mustafa Keshwari touts it's Trapped in an Elevator drama as the first COVID-19 movie of the coronavirus era. A very positive message comes from the director that if the virus doesn't discriminate, so why should we?
Do you understand that there's a virus going around in this building?
The coronavirus pandemic is sure to spawn films, and director Mustafa Keshwari's Corona is the first on the subject. The movie uses the pandemic, which started in China, to talk about racism and fear among those confined to apartments now. The idea came to him when he was in an elevator reading news about Chinese tourists being attacked, and he thought of the film. Corona is about 6 neighbors who are in the building's elevator, and with a new neighbor, a Chinese, essayed by Rai Sai, gets in, there is fear and unease. Keshwari got alerted about a possible pandemic when he realized that the city, Vancouver, he was living in had a large Chinese-Canadian community facing possible ostracism because the virus first appeared in China's Hubei province. He was also anxious about his own parents falling ill. The fear about potentially losing someone you love only adds to the haste in making a movie, Keshwari explains. He first thought that Corona would have a run on the festival circuit, but now with many festivals cancelled or postponed, the option now open is a streaming platform.
You all right? You sick? Does not taste my baby. What's wrong with you, Josh? Protecting my life. This is how you all treat people, huh? This is what we do.
We're gonna die. We're gonna die.
Damn, the cheese got the virus. I think we're all being tested.
Viewership of virus movies has surged significantly during this COVID-19 outbreak, according to the reports. Exposure therapy, a behavior therapy sometimes used to treat anxiety disorders, involves exposing a patient to the source of their anxiety without the intention to cause them any harm or danger, thus alleviating their stress or fear. Let's have a look on the movies people are watching during the coronavirus outbreak and this lockdown period.
It was a groundbreaking ceremony for a new factory.
Did she mention seeing anyone who was sick? Anyone on a plane, the airport?
No, she said she was jet-lagged.
With huge numbers of people stuck at home, people are browsing the internet for films about viruses. And this has given new life to many films that had not been talked about for a while. Contagion.
No, go up to your room, honey.
So we have a virus with no treatment protocol and no vaccine at this time.
You had a seizure this morning, Beth.
She had a history of seizures and allergies.
As of last night, there were 32 cases.
This is one of the films that has suddenly gotten a boost, most likely because of how it predicts something similar to the coronavirus crisis. The virus in the film started in China and a bat is to blame for it.
What happened to her? What happened to her?
Is there any way someone could weaponize the bird flu? Is that what we're looking at?
Someone doesn't have to weaponize the bird flu. The birds are doing it.
Watch this. It's transmission, so we just need to know which direction.
This is the most quintessentially Hollywood movie on the list.
And then 16. In 3 months, it's $1 billion. That's where we're headed.
They're calling out the National Guard. They're moving the president underground.
People will panic.
Get away!
It will tip over.
The truth is being kept from the world.
Cook your samples, destroy everything.
Virus. This one is closer to home. The acclaimed Malayalam movie is about the spread of the Nipah virus that happened in Kerala a couple of years ago and the brilliant medical team that helped contain it.
ഇവിടെ ഫ്യൂമിഗേറ്റ് ചെയ്തെന്താ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയണം. ആ ബോഡി പോസ്റ്റ്മോർട്ടം ചെയ്ത ആളാണ്.
ജനങ്ങളുടെ ആരോഗ്യം സംരക്ഷിക്കലല്ലേ നമ്മുടെ പ്രൈമറി ഡ്യൂട്ടി. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഫ്യൂമിഗേറ്റ് ചെയ്തത്.
With a taut, no-nonsense script, the film takes a very realistic approach to the disease while smartly including the elements of a thriller. My Secret Terrace. An episode of this hugely popular South Korean drama series mentioned coronavirus as a man-made bioweapon. The episode has a man telling his partners to stay in his home to be safe. This is much like the social distancing advice we are currently being bombarded with. The episode also has a doctor explaining that this mutant coronavirus attacks the respiratory organs, something which is true of the real-life coronavirus as well.
I had goosebumps.
I'll see you next month in Baja.
The speed of this illness, which resulted in death, is remarkable. The virus enters through the respiratory system. All the while, the individual who's infected is infecting other people.
Pandemic. At the beginning of this mini-series, two American surfers are shown saying goodbye to each other at an Australian beach. They fail to notice the bird corpses lying about.
The fastest progressing diseases I've ever seen.
We can hit critical mass, making this uncontainable in just 3 days.
Can you confirm that this is a bioterrorism attack?
A pandemic is...
On the flight, the surfer returning home starts coughing up blood and dies before the plane can land. The other surfer is found dead in Australia. The authorities start processing people to be put in quarantine until they can be evaluated for exposure. During their transfer to a remote place, one of the passengers escapes to complete a business deal and unknowingly spreads the virus throughout Los Angeles. It is also revealed that outbreaks of the virus are occurring in other cities around the world as well. Fatal contact, bird flu in America. Some people are predicting a Domesday-like scenario, and they would be happy to see this depressing film which shows all their grim predictions coming true. An American businessman visiting China is affected with a mutated bird flu virus. Soon, America and then the rest of the world is infected. There are food shortages everywhere. Rioting and looting become routine, and up to 350 million people die worldwide. The end is bleak indeed, as just when the authorities think they have beaten the virus, news comes that a remote Angolan village is wiped out by a new mutation of the virus. So if you have still missed these movies in this lockdown period, now is the time. While slipping into a very short break, keep watching our special show on DD India.
डीडी फ्री डिश, भारत की एकमात्र फ्री डीटीएच सर्विस। अब देखिए आपके अपने पसंदीदा चैनल डीडी न्यूज चैनल नंबर 1 पर, डीडी नेशनल चैनल नंबर 2 पर, डीडी भारती चैनल नंबर 60 पर और डीडी इंडिया चैनल नंबर 84 पर। डीडी फ्री डिश, मनोरंजन का संसार सीधे आपके द्वार।
Namaste India.
Namaste land.
Marhaban ila al-Hind. Zari India. Salam India. Namaste India.
Namaskar Bharata.
Mui
Nous
India.
sommes land.
نحن هنود. India.
माँ हिंदी हस्ती
Hindian.
Salam Hindustan.
We are India.
This special and exclusive edition of Corona Warriors, which we bring to you from the premises of this Kasna jail. इस जेल की बात की जाए तो 1 लाख से भी ज्यादा मास्क अभी तक यहाँ पे मैन्युफैक्चर की गई है
और हम अपने आप को भी गर्व महसूस करते हैं कि हम आज देश के साथ खड़े हो पाए इस जरिए।
हमारा मास्क ये जो बन रहा है हमारे आदमी को बचाने के लिए काम आ जाएगा। प्रधानमंत्री जी के लिए जो लॉकडाउन किए हैं वो बहुत अच्छा किए हैं गरीबों को बचने के लिए।
The inmates and the jail officers and staff have really contributed in this endeavor and they virtually made it genuine.
30 मिनट तक बॉईल करते हैं, स्टरलाइज करते हैं। ये ऑटोक्लेव है।
At least 4 barracks which have been converted into quarantine wards here.
हमारे नए प्रिजनर्स आते हैं सैनिटाइज कराने के बाद इसी बैरक में आते हैं।
ये हमारा एक नॉर्मल वार्ड था जिसे हमने आइसोलेशन वार्ड में बदल दिया है।
Jail inmates with a tremendous amount of purpose and responsibilities have risen to the occasion and are joining the countrymen in fighting COVID-19.
The time has come that we as the people of the country unite together to stop what is called the transmission chain, because it is the time that we make sure that the infection do not spread from one person to another. Why is it most important is because many of the people who would be carrying the virus can be asymptomatic. That is one thing which is very important. And the second thing is that even if the symptoms occur, they occur after a couple of days. In fact, it could be even up to 10 to 12 days. So we have to make sure that all of us stay at home. It is very important that we make contact with other people as minimum as possible. This 1 meter distancing should be the buzzword now.
The 2019-20 coronavirus pandemic has had a substantial impact on the film industry, mirroring its impacts across all art sectors. Across the world and to varying degrees, cinemas and movie theatres have been closed, festivals have been cancelled or postponed, and film releases have been moved to future dates or delayed indefinitely.
Why would I betray you?
We all have our secrets. We just didn't get to yours yet.
When the latest James Bond premiere was called off because of the coronavirus outbreak, it came as a shock. But that was just the first in a cascade of movie blockbusters being cancelled or postponed, causing a huge reshuffle of the release schedule throughout 2020 and into 2021.
The world's moved on, Commander Bond.
You were 00.
2 years. So stay in your lane. You get in my way, I will put a bullet in your knee. The one that works.
I thought you two would get along.
The health and the well-being of people and families around the world remains the most important thing. But these movies' cancellations affect more than just the balance sheets of major studios. Movie theatre closures are just one sign of the disruption.
If you feel yourself losing control, I'm not going to lose
control. James, you gave up everything for her.
The coronavirus is wrecking upon people and businesses around the world.
Middle school
school band. Cut it, go for it! Today started out as the best day of my life.
Back here tonight, first show's at 7.
Yes! Woohoo! You know what that's gonna say? Joe Gardner. I did it, I got the gig.
Must have been sudden for you.
Soul. Pixar takes you on a jazz odyssey for this musical animation, which is currently sticking to its planned early summer release date. As the pandemic continues, that may prove to be optimistic. But Disney has so many films on the schedule it will struggle to find a new slot for Soul should theaters remain closed.
What is it? 151,000 souls going to the great beyond every day. And I count every single one of them. The count's off.
We all believe we'd run into the burning building. But until we feel that heat,
Tenet. Christopher Nolan's time-twisting thriller Tenet has also held its nerve and stuck to its planned date even as the rest of the summer's films were postponed or rescheduled.
You chose to die instead of giving up your colleagues. That test you passed? Not everybody does. Welcome to the afterlife.
To do what I do, I need some idea of the threat we face.
As I understand it.
But even if theaters are open again in July, audiences may still be wary of gathering.
I have to start looking at the world in a new way.
Don't try to understand it. Feel it.
Close the gates! 6 of our northern cities have fallen in a coordinated attack. Their leader fights alongside a witch. Crush these murderers, Your Majesty.
Disney's live-action Mulan reboot was pulled on March 12, just a few hours after similar announcements for A Quiet Place 2 and F9.
My father cannot fight, so I will take his place.
The northern invaders will kill her.
If I expose her, our own people will kill her. When we take the Imperial City, I will take revenge. For my father! What is your name, soldier?
Hua Jun, Commander, son of Hua Zhou.
You will now take the oath of the warrior. Loyal! Brave! True!
The postponement came less than 2 weeks before it was supposed to open, late enough that some viewers and critics saw the film at preview screenings, calling the new Mulan majestic and thrilling.
You will die pretending to be something you are not. Yet here I stand, proof that there is a place for people like us.
A girl threatens our plans.
A warrior. My life.
Warner Brothers held out until March 24 before announcing that Wonder Woman 2 would be delayed. But with most other blockbusters postponed, it was clear the DC Comics sequel would have to move from its planned June release date. But where many big movies have moved much later in the year or been postponed indefinitely, Wonder Woman 1984 is rather optimistically committed to hitting theaters in August.
The urban legend is, if you say his name 5 times while looking in the mirror, he appears in the reflection and kills you.
Who would do that?
Candyman. 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 Well, we're still alive. Let's go. Trina, you broke the door. This isn't funny!
Candyman. This horror remake, directed by Nia DaCosta and written by Jordan Peele, has been pushed to September, whereas the original release date is June 12, 2020. The French Dispatch will hit theaters in October. Wes Anderson returns with more idiosyncratic art housery in The French Dispatch, starring Timothy, Bill Murray, S. Ronan, Tilda Swinton and Frances McDormand, whereas the original release date was in July. Apart from this, many other movies like The Ghostbusters Afterlife, Top Gun Maverick, Morbius, F9 was due in June-July but now pushed later in the year. Well, time to wind up, guys. Keep watching movies, enjoy yourself, but keep yourself safe. Stay at home, because if you are staying at home, you are helping others. So thanks for watching this special edition of our show. Take care. Bye-bye.